Hello, I'm Lego Creator Kid. I'm going to change my name soon, but today I'm making a video about the Space Junkers Corporation that's coming to terratech. You can see that this block has different faces on each side, which really helps the techs look a lot more like they're a hodgepodge made of scrap metal, but the attachment points are the same on each side. And then right here, tech this oil to show where the block is built. See, it's not the GSO tech because it's behind it, so I think it's the Venture was in front, but then it fell behind to be more protected against this, which they seem to be attacking. We can see 4 weapons on it: the chainsaw, this, that, and these are machine guns. It has 2 different types of wheels. One is rubber. It looks a lot like the Venture Formula 1 wheel with the GSO riser wheel attach point, and it looks like a Hawkeye block right there. So it's a hodgepodge of lots of little parts from each corporation, and also has little metal studs right here. This looks like 2 wheels slapped together, and this looks like a Geocorp wheel mount. The blocks, this seems to be only a 1x2 block and a 1 block, but it has a lot of different textures because it's a different face on each side, and they all look different. And it had spots the other ones. Notices that it was being chased, so it responds, but right here you can see that it's stopping to pick up this block, but it clicks to make the vehicle stop, attacks it, clicks to make it go again. So it seems to be some kind of salvaging AI function. Fire their weapons at it from way too far away to hit. Right here we see the cog jammer, which it launches some kind of ball, explodes into a shield that slows down other techs. Very similar to a reticule research block that does basically the same thing but with anti-gravity. So it seems like it's an old version of that reticule research block that was abandoned, and it's being used by scrap guys because they don't seem like, based on their making everything out of scrap, that they would know how to make such an advanced, complicated weapon. They probably made the salvage harpoon. The thing about a harpoon, realistically, is you use the same shot every time, so you don't need to supply it with more ammo every time. And it doesn't seem to deal any damage to the block when it hits it. It's just destroying the camera right here. So I think that the harpoon, it one-shots the block without dealing any damage, so it probably wouldn't be able to do that with every block, because there are blocks with a lot more HP than that. So probably if the block has little enough HP remaining, it will knock it off. And I think that it would deal damage if it can't knock it off, until it has enough damage to knock it off. That's their corporation logo. And we can see right here, these look like ZK-47 GSO machine guns on the back, something else on the front, and it's combined into a new machine gun that we don't get a description of, but it's probably just a basic machine gun. In the terratech wiki, there's a description for space junkers in the upcoming corporation/faction section. Scrap heap heroes of the off-world mining circuit. These are survivalist sci-fi mountain men who are battle-hardened and scared from years of living off the land in the prospector's frontier. They are reactionary guys who are sick of having their hard-fought spoils carved from them by the bigger corps. Their machines are handmade patchworks of old salvaged wrecks, covered over with war paint. Space hermits riding mad contraptions. In terratech, I recreated the concept art text for all of the corporations that are already in the game, and the more recently it was added, the less blocks are similar to the ones in the concept art because it's had a lot more time for plans to change. These texts don't represent what you would normally build in terratech with the blocks from each corporation. A lot of the time you would use blocks from different corporations in one tech, but they're as close as I could get to each of the ones in the concept art. The Space Junkers tech looks the most different from the concept art out of all the other corporations. It's partially because I didn't build a recreation of the concept art tech, but also it is very different just from how it was made. So the Reticule Research 0-point energy splitter is very similar to the Cog Jammer, both in looks and effect. It has these 3 prongs on the front, and it's both in a 2x2 grid. When you fire it, it creates a big bubble that removes gravity in its radius, which effectively stops techs, very similar to the Cog Jammer. So I think it should say in the weapon's description, for lore purposes, that the Cog Jammer is the precursor to the 0-point energy splitter, and it was abandoned by Reticule Research, and then the Space Junkers found the technology and used it for themselves. Something that I think that the Space Junkers should have is a scrapper that, unlike the regular corporation scrappers do, where they can only scrap blocks of their own corporation, Space Junk Scrapper should be able to scrap any block, because they of course scrap stuff, they salvage things, and they make stuff out of garbage. Space Junkers machine guns are the most similar to the ZK-47, the repeater rifle, and the Hailfire rifle. These guns all do different amounts of damage. These do have the same rate of fire, they have different range. Their turn radius seems to be about the same. So I think that Space Junker's gun should be different one of these ways. Could also have weight and health. Typically, Venture is low health, low weight. Hawkeye is high health, high weight. GSO is in the middle. I think that the Space Junker's gun should be a similar weight and HP to GSO, same for all the other stuff, but possibly slightly less health because it's all made of junk. And that can be its downside for most of the stuff. For the Scrap Harpoon, the way blocks normally get destroyed, they get enough damage done to them, they will fall off, and they will start flashing red if there's even more damage. It's different for each block. They can fall off without getting damage enough to flash, and if it's reattached, it will still have the same amount of health as it did before. If you attack it after it has been broken off once or been damaged, it would end up getting destroyed before it has a chance to fall off normally. So I think the way the Scrap Harpoon would work is, if it has enough damage, it would knock it off, but otherwise it would have to deal damage to it before it gets destroyed, so that it can't just break off any block in one hit. As of time of recording, it was only recently announced that on February 5th to February 11th, the demo for terratech's sequel, terratech Worlds, will be available on Steam. I don't know if you'll lose your copy of the demo after February 11th, but I hope you don't. Terratech does snapshots, which lets people see what's going to be coming to the game and test it out before it's in the game, so people will be able to use the Space Junkers very soon before it's actually in the game. So that might overlap with the time that you'll be able to test out terratech Worlds, which is also something coming. And just yesterday, it was announced that Space Junkers Corporation would be coming to terratech, and these two things happening at such a close time has gotten lots of people very excited. In the same live stream that it was announced that terratech Worlds would have a demo available, it was also announced that these lightning trees would be in terratech Worlds, and I recreated one in terratech, and it is available on the Steam Workshop. It also has solar panels, batteries, and a Tesla coil, so it works just like the lightning trees in terratech Worlds. Starting on February 5th, I'm going to do a series on terratech Worlds in the demo, so I hope you'll watch that, and I'll see you next time.